Hello and welcome back to another exciting episode of me reading my mission journal. I'm almost finished with this mission journal, but don't worry, I've got plenty more. I don't have any announcements this week, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started with where I left off last week. Wednesday, July 23rd, 2003. It rained this morning, but most of the rest of the day was clear. We stopped by the other pad to pick up the rest of Elder W's stuff and visit the new district leader, Elder L, in the new district leader, and Elder K is the new zone leader. Elder K used to be my mission companion, my first mission companion. We ate lunch at our pad. I received a letter from my grandmother with a $25 money order in it, and I also received a letter from my Aunt Rhonda and a letter from my Uncle Bill. Grandma's letter and Bill's letter were slightly anti-Mormon. We visited Candace for a little while, and then she had to go help Sabrina fix her flat. Most of the people we tried to visit were not home. Elder L gave me a paper from President telling me that I am now co-senior. This will not change anything, I'm sure. Elder W will still likely not let me drive or decide what we do during the day, but I guess I will just have to wait and see. We stayed home and worked on the area book for a while because Elder W's sunburn was killing him. Most of the people that we tried to visit were nowhere to be found. We had dinner with the T family and we had a good conversation, and luckily the most of it was not about football. Just as we were leaving, the bishop pulled up and gave us a hard time for fun. I called Elder K to say hello and to find out how he was doing. Thursday, July 24th, 2003. Clear, hot, light wind. We visited and followed up with a lot of people this morning. We went to Burger King and picked up lunch, and then we went to the district leader's pad to eat it. I had to drive back to Burger King to exchange my burger because not only did they make it wrong, but the bread was moldy. We visited with Candace for a little while and then went to visit Sabrina. Sabrina told us that she wanted her boys to take the lessons. We talked with her boys for a while, and Elder W mentioned that the Catholic Church lets openly gay men be priests. Her son said, "If that's true, I'm converting." We asked him what his church believed, and he could not tell us. We set up an appointment with him for tomorrow. The thing about the Catholic Church letting openly gay men be priests is definitely not true, so my mission companion was ill-informed about that. We visited the C family and talked with them about Ben and also about their mission. We decided that we wanted to do service for the O family tomorrow, so we borrowed a weed eater from Brother T. We talked to Jesse for a while about his mission, etc. Since I have received the math book, I have been studying every day except Sunday. Today, one of the algebra problems really had me stumped, and I thought about it all day long and prayed that the Lord would help me learn. When I finally figured it out tonight, I felt so dumb because it had me stumped, because once I figured it out, it was so simple. We had dinner today with Ron and Star Nani, and they ordered pizza from Pizza Hut. Friday, July 25th, 2003. Hard rain in the evening, cloudy early on, but most of the day was clear. We visited Ben and Hope, and they picked up Wayne as a team-up to teach Julian's Sabrina's son. We bought donuts and brought them to the appointment. The discussion went very well. Elder W asked Sabrina how she knew the Book of Mormon was true. She said that she had to pray a lot of times before she knew it was true, and also that the Book of Mormon has a lot of consistency and answered a lot of her questions. I was happy to hear her say this because I knew for a long time that she knew it was true. She just would not admit it. Candace was also at the discussion. We ate lunch at the pad. We went to the O family for service, but Brother T's weed eater ran out of line, so we brought it back and borrowed the F family's weed eater. When we went back to cut the O family's grass, we were told to be careful not to cut down the marijuana. After we finished, we talked to Jesse for a while. He told us that the reason they want to keep the weed is because they make a lot of money selling it. We followed up on some people and then went to our appointment with Ben and Hope, but they were not there. We had dinner with the A family. We went to the S family to set up a time for dinner. Sabrina was also there. The C's family daughter kept hitting Elder W and she was loud. She had no respect for anyone. Sabrina's husband is dark. She was mad at him, so she said, "Do you know what the Lord said when he made you?" "No," he answered. She told us, "Oh crap, I burned another one." Saturday, July 26, 2003. It rained almost all day long. When I woke up this morning, it was lightning and thundering, and a few of the flashes was lighter than noonday, and the thunder was exceedingly loud. We visited Doug this morning, and he was telling us that that Friday he was going to have an affair with a lady. I tried hard to talk him out of it, not knowing that he was just pulling my leg. He told me after a while that it was a joke. He fed us lunch before we left. We ate lunch at the pad. I received a letter from Mom, and she told me that Joan called her crying because the recruiting officer yelled at her. I feel sorry for Joan because I know that she won't handle basic training very well. After lunch, we tried to stop by and see Sabrina and give her something because today is her birthday. My card was not accepted because the oil change and inspection on the mission car had not been reimbursed yet on my card, so I just signed Elder W's card and I decided to give her the Book of Mormon reader. We visited Ben and Hope, and they were sick. We had a hard time getting hold of people today. We visited the O family. I really wish that Sister O would not be a garment pusher and wear things that just barely cover her garments and really tight blouses. She is very pretty, and I try hard to only look at her face, but often I find myself looking lower. We visited Napua and Nohea and family for a little while and talked story with them. We went to the S families at 6 p.m. for dinner, and I helped Candace make a stairway to heaven for Sabrina. I helped Sister S a little while with dinner and a lot with the cleanup. Ty started to stick out his middle finger, so I told him that if he did, I would slap him. Sister S did not object. After dinner, while we were waiting for Sabrina to show up for the lesson, I talked to Sister S for a long time about life, my family, her family, etc. When Sabrina showed up, we gave her our card and gifts, and then the family all gathered to watch on the way home. I almost cried, as I always do when I watch that show. Sabrina liked it a lot. We got home about 15 minutes late, so I called the district leader. There was a message on our machine from President Willis asking Elder W to please call him as soon as we get home. I went outside to write in my journal while Elder W talked to the president. I don't know what they talked about because it is none of my business. Sunday, July 27, 2003, clear and hot. PEC was canceled this morning, so we did not have to go. We went to church this morning. Ben and Hope showed up, as did Gianna, Ian and Johnny, and Sabrina. Sabrina was impressed with Brother G's teaching and said that he explained things that she had questions about for a long time. We had lunch with the F family. I know that I am usually not grateful enough for the time Sister F puts into the food, so I made sure to express my appreciation for the food and the chef. We visited the O family for a while and tried to set up an appointment with them and Gianna. We had a few moments to spare, so we decided to visit David and find out why he and Julian did not come to church today. We knocked loud on the door, but no one answered, so we went to the S family's house to ask Sabrina where David and Julian were. She told us to go spray water in the window to wake them up because she knows that they are there. She is mad at them because Julian is being very disrespectful to her and yelling at her, and also because David and Julian said they were going surfing and would be back by dinner. But they were a no-call, no-show. They told her this morning that they surfed until 12:15 a.m. last night, and they finally admitted that they were at the hotel trying to pick up girls. She grounded Julian. We had to spray them twice before they woke up, and when they woke up we talked story for a while and then set up an appointment to teach Julian the second discussion. We had dinner with the F family. Elder W tried to talk Norcy into writing the girls that she served with and telling them to write him. He especially tried hard to get her to have the married one write him and make her mad. Narcy was a little rude with us, but I can't really blame her, especially when Elder W told her that he tried to hook her up with David. She does not know him on a day, and I made sure that she knew that I had nothing to do with it. We ate lobster, steak, rice, etc. Brother F told me that he put poison in my food. I shared the dinner message on the stonecutter. We went to the S family's house to teach Sabrina the third discussion, but all of the boys were too loud. I did all I could without being physical with them, but they did not listen. July 26, 2003. We told Sabrina that the adversary was working hard to keep her from taking the discussions. Her son Julian was so rude with her that if I was not on a mission, I would have whacked him a good one. We decided to go to Sabrina's house for the lesson. Sabrina and her boys, Brianne and Candace and Elder W and I went over. David joined us later. The discussion went very well, but by the time we had finished the first principle, I thought I was going to die. I thought maybe Brother F really did poison me. Nevertheless, I tried not to let my pain show. When I bore my testimony about the Book of Mormon, Sabrina cried and left the room. When she came back, we finished, and Sabrina felt the spirit at the whole way through. Sabrina noticed that it was past our curfew, so we reminded her that she agreed to. What she agreed to. She told us that she feels like that if she prays the Mormon way, that she would be accepting our church as true. She also said that she feels our church is true and she does not really want to know. Finally, she agreed to pray because we told her to pray the way that she wants to. Sabrina offered one of the best heartfelt prayers that I have felt my whole mission. All during her prayer, I prayed hard that she would ask again if it's true. I was happy because she did. On the way home, I told Elder W to shoot me because I felt so bad. We made it home at 10 p.m., so I called President, and he told me that it sounds like we were out late for a good cause. Elder L called to see if we wanted to go hiking tomorrow, but I had to decline. I felt so sick that I felt like I would die. I had a fever, and I was extremely cold, so I had to use a blanket where I usually only cover up with a sheet, and I slept with my socks and a thick shirt on. Well, that is the end of that journal. Let me grab my next one. My next one. Monday, July 28, 2003. Clear and hot, light breeze. Last night at dinner, Brother F told me that he poisoned my dinner. I just laughed. Shortly after dinner, I felt like I would die, though I seriously doubt it is related to dinner. This morning, I was still sick, and I felt like my skin was crawling all day. I felt so bad that after devotional, I went back to sleep instead of cleaning. Around lunchtime, we went to the other pad to do our laundry. The whole zone, except for Elder W and I, went hiking up Sleeping Giant. I wanted to go, but I was not feeling well enough to allow it. Later in the day, I went with Elder R to the M family so that Sister M could cut my hair. Just as we were leaving, Elder W and Elder L showed up. L switched with Elder R, and I went back to the pad with Elder L. Elder W and I had dinner with the K family at the family restaurant. The food was not all that good. I was freezing in the restaurant. We tried to catch the younger O family, but they could not be found. We looked for them at their mother-in-laws, but they were not there. The mother-in-law, who is not a member, told us to come by and have dinner with them sometimes. We came home around 8 p.m. for a week plan and companionship inventory. After we finished, I cleaned the pad as much as I could before bedtime. I wrote letters today. Tuesday, July 29, 2003. Clear, hot, light wind. We did not pick up or ride with the other elders to district meeting. Elder L and Elder R were late because they were waiting for us. The assistants of the presidents were at district meeting. I finished cleaning the pad this morning. We came back to the pad for lunch. At district meeting, Elder W asked Sister S if she cuddles and so she told him that it was none of his business. We showed up a little late to teach Julian. He was into the discussion and he had a lot of questions. He pretty much accepted everything that we told him. He knows that he needs to be baptized and feels that his whole family will join. We talked to Erin to try to set up an appointment. She told us to call tomorrow. We set up an appointment with Ben and Hope, and they told us that today is Brother C's birthday. We brought him a birthday card and baked him some cookies. We had dinner with the K family, and they fixed the mainland food. We visited the C family and gave them cookies. I told Brother C that I practiced a long time to be able to sing him happy birthday backwards. He was really looking forward to hearing it, so I turned around and sang him happy birthday. He grabbed my backpack, turned me around, and told me that I needed to repent. I told him that it could not have been that bad because it made him laugh. We came back to the pad at 8:30 p.m. so we would be there when the zone leaders brought Elder W. He was dropped off a little after 9 p.m. Elder W. inspected our pad tonight, and I think he gave us 100%. It rained pretty hard tonight for a while. There are too many elders that the name starts with W. Wednesday, July 30th, 2003. Partly clear. It rained a couple of times today. It was hot today with a light wind. Elder W. and the other Elder W. and I went to visit the S family, set up an appointment with Candace to study about Joseph Smith. We tried to visit a few people, but they were not home. We stopped by the F family to get the after baptism discussions from him, and he told us that Starnani was taken in an ambulance to the hospital this morning. So we decided to go give her a blessing. When we got to the hospital, Brother F. Jr. and his mother met us there, and we all went home because they were about to release her. The other elders and I came back and had lunch at the pad. We visited Brother E and a few other people. We visited Sister T, and she led us to an inactive member's house. We could not visit because she was not home. We came back to see Sister T a little while later to find out about to see if Brother T would be willing to go with us tomorrow. He was not home, but we talked to Sister T for a while about missions, etc. She also thinks it is strange or freaky for sisters to cuddle. Elder W. told her about someone trying to start the Quorum of the 12 Apostates. She commented that it was likely Elder W.'s idea. I was not pleased with the conversation. I later found out that my mission companion, Elder W., did start a group he called the Quorum of the 12 Apostates. And the goal of the group was to baptize as many people as they could while not following mission rules. We dropped off the other Elder W at the K1 pad, and then went to the M family's house to pick up our dinner money. They are the only active family that I know that never has the missionaries over for dinner. We went to a Mexican restaurant, and the owner, a temple member, fed us on the house. The waitress thought that we were Jehovah's Witnesses. The food was really good, and there was almost more on the plate than we could eat. Since she gave us free food, we had to at least leave him a tip. He wants us to set up an appointment with his wife for dinner at their house, with him and his wife for dinner at their house, and he said he will make sure that he is there. We arrived at the S family's house just after Sabrina was getting out of her truck. We went in with her as Sabrina was having a lot of stress today because of her husband. He wants her to enroll the kids in school here, and he wants to loan his sister $1,500. She did not want us to meet with Julian anymore because he told the S family that he was getting baptized. Sister S was very ticked off because Nick was listening to some very bad music. It ticked Sabrina off too. After a while, Sabrina calmed down and decided that it was okay for us to teach Julian. We all had a scripture read and then signed a birthday card for Candace's birthday tomorrow. I told her that I had been practicing to sing her happy birthday backwards and she was looking forward to it. We gave Sister F a blessing at her home. Elder W anointed and I blessed. I am still sick today, but instead of the body aches, I have a headache and a bad cough. I received a letter from Heidi. Thursday, July 31st, 2003. Mostly clear and hot. It sprinkled a little today. I am still very sick. Today we went to the L family this morning to find a book about Joseph Smith for Candace, but about all we could find on him was... we went to the library to find a book about Joseph Smith, but all we could find for him was anti-books. We came back to the pad and ate lunch. We taught Julian the third discussion, and it went well. We had Bishop V's son, Don, with us. We went down to the store to buy a birthday card and a batch of ready-to-bake cookies. I accidentally burned the cookies, so we had to go buy another batch. We went to the F families for dinner, but Sister F was not feeling good, so Brother F just gave us money. On our way back to the pad from Burger King, a truck hit us from behind. When we got out to inspect it, only the truck was damaged. The kid that hit us is a local kid about 15 years old and tried to convince us to let him go and not get the cops involved because he did not have a driver's license or insurance on his truck. When we explained to him that we could not let him go because of church policy, he started to curse at us. If cursing was not bad enough, he decided to call us the derogatory F term for gay people. And an older man walked up and asked if we needed any help. We informed him that we needed the police. He told us that he was off-duty officer and already called. Before anyone else came up, the kid's girlfriend told him to stop swearing at us and then tried to talk us into letting them go. I think that one of the reasons that he ran into us is because he spent too much time talking and looking at his scantily clad girlfriend. He started his engine, so I wrote down his license plate number. A couple of officers came and they took care of everything. They were super nice and they told us that the kid is likely in serious trouble for not having insurance. By the time we got home, our food was cold. That kid will likely always hate Mormons, but we could not help it. We met Brother T at his house and rode with him to visit the D family. We did a Book of Mormon read with Ben and Hope after we left the T family. Their little girl kept covering me up and stuff. We were supposed to meet with Sabrina, Candace, and Dave, but they went to Honolulu. We visited the O family, and a lady was trying to get them into some lame multi-marketing scheme. It rained hard tonight. Friday, August 1st, 2003. It rained hard this morning, but most of the rest of the day was clear and hot with a light wind. We visited the G family, and Sister G wanted a blessing. Elder W anointed, and Brother G blessed. We visited the T family for a while. The horse tried to pull the hair from my arm. We went to the S family's house to teach Candace about Joseph Smith because she said that her testimony is not where it should be. We had lunch, but I did not eat anything because I felt sick, and also there is not much to eat. I received a letter from Brother B. I called Elder B in the office to tell him about the car accident. He wanted me to fill out the church's report and mail it to him today, so I did. We visited a few people and then had dinner at the pad. I made some Alfredo from a pack. After we ate, I felt exceedingly sick, so I lay down until it was time to leave. We stopped by the S family for a while, and Sabrina was there. Sabrina told us that she is trying to hide from us again. We visited with the young O family, Jesse and Nicole, and talked for a while. I talked with their Catholic neighbor. A pretty cool guy, but not ready to hear the discussions yet. We then visited the F family senior and then the T family, and they insisted that we take home ham and cheese bagel. I almost could not finish mine. Earlier today, we visited F family, Junior's family. Star Nani was so drugged up that she is very happy. I think this will be the last day that I read. Saturday, August 2nd, 2003. Clear and hot most of the day, but it rained pretty hard in the evening. We were supposed to paint the S family's house this morning, but no one was home. We visited with a lot of people today, but did not teach any discussions. We had lunch at the pad. I received a letter from Mom and a letter from Heidi. We tried to invite a lot of people to the pool party. Almost the whole ward was there. The food was pretty good. Around 6:30 p.m., the party was from 5 to 8. It started to rain and a lot of people left when it got hard around 7 p.m. I got soaked. We came back to the pad, dried off a little, and went back out. Earlier today, I called Elder B at the office to tell him the skinny on our miles, because we used 198 miles over the last month, thinking that we could borrow them from the first because their car was in the shop, but they had only 3 to give us. We visited the C family and then the M family and then went home. I felt so much better today than I have the last few days. I felt good today. Oh, yeah, with the whole miles thing, we only had so many miles that we were allowed to drive. We only had so many miles that we were allowed to drive the car, and if we went over the miles, we had to walk. So, or get a ride for members. Anyhow, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you got anything out of it, I would appreciate it if you would click the like button. If you have any questions or concerns, or I didn't explain anything fully, go ahead and comment down below, and I will do my best to answer your questions. And with that said, I will end this episode. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next episode.